That's not your goal. That's what's required of you. That's not.
Doesn't work like that.
Do a knock joke.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Your mom.
Not even Joe. Your mom who?
Your mom. the worst joke in the history books. Man, comedian right here. Certified. Might as well.
And with that, I guess, is that gonna be it? Is this really how we're gonna open this episode? I think so.
Yeah. Welcome to the saddest
Thank you for listening.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for watching.
Let's make this the worst episode ever.
Okay. You know, you guys, you can, if you pull through all the way to the end, I mean, it's probably really a bad punchline for a podcast, but it's what we're rolling with today.
Might as well.
So what's the worst topic to bring up first?
The worst topic?
Politics.
Politics. Fuck yeah. Dutch politics, even worse.
Oh, but that's kind of interesting because some shit is like always going down, so...
Yeah, especially nowadays.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Any updates?
No, shit is still fucked. That's basically it.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's our check-in to weekly Dutch politics. Still fucked.
Still fucked.
Let's move on.
Well, actually, speaking of that shit, you know, because it's the worst episode, so I'm gonna skip the current events and just go straight to a talking point.
Okay.
Because we talked about it, right? Like, news is just like shit, rain shit. I actually came across a pretty fun article. There was this dude in India, I believe, and he was, well, I don't know, do you become a burglar or he is a burglar? I don't know. He decided to do some burgling, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
So he found his house and he was snooping around, and then he thought, hey, you know what, I'm gonna lay down for a bit. And this bitch actually fell asleep while he was burgling a house. And it's even worse, because this dude, the house he was burgling, belonged to a police officer. So this dude just fell asleep while committing a crime in a police officer's house.
That is like the worst. How even? Like, that's one of those stories where you know that shit is real, because no one would come up with a story like that's that on your nose, right?
Yeah.
Like, goddamn.
Yeah. Dude was 22 too. 22, that's a really...
222, that's his age. He burgled some years too.
That's why he was so tired, you know? That's fucking old.
Imagine a 222-year-old is breaking into your house. You just see this like almost corpse laying on your sofa.
Just wrinkles. Just see skin coming in your house.
You're like, look at me, terrifying, man.
Yo, bro, you've been sitting in a hot tub for 24 hours? What the fuck have you been up to?
Exactly. Dude, just like chilling there. Man, you know those really old couches that have him like, maybe he was camouflaged. It was like a leather couch, you know? It looked exactly the same.
That's just nasty.
That's how the police officer found him. He just sat down. And he just felt the bone breaks.
No, apparently the dude also turned the AC on. And that's how the cop figured out there was someone in his house.
Because the dude just made himself at home.
Yeah, he made himself very comfortable.
He broke in and he saw that mat, Home Sweet Home, and he said, turn it on, lay on the sofa.
I wonder what he did first. First turn the AC on and then went to sleep, or trying to go to sleep and then thinking, this is way too hot, and I'll turn the AC on.
Either way, it's good, man. Also, just imagine, like, without the sleeping part, even he walks in, he's like, oh, fuck. You know, I can't steal in this heat. Turns it down, you know. I don't want to be sweating on the pictures. For the security camera, you know, you gotta look extra sharp.
And apparently it happened not that long ago, also in India. The same shit, not with a police officer, but someone breaking in and falling asleep in a house. And he was also discovered because he turned the AC on.
A serial sleeper.
The serial sleeper, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so what we learned from this story, if you decide to burgle a house and you want to have a nap, don't turn the AC on.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good note, you know? That's something that people can really take value out of.
Yeah.
Know? And since we do have people from India listening, shout out, message us, please. If you had a burglar come into your house and sleep or turn the AC on, send us a message. We want to hear your story.
Oh, yeah, hit us up.
Also, of course, for everyone else, if you have a story where you found a robber, but
especially the Indians. I see a pattern here. I don't know.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Right before, I got to bring this up, right before this podcast, I saw a headline that just does scream, why do it, right? So there's this Twitter headline, again, no idea if it's true or not, but that's every news, so take it with a grain of salt. Elon Musk business partner said that he has the opportunity to build a real-life Jurassic Park with dinosaurs that are, sourced from the DNA that is gathered.
We literally made a movie about this, so why not?
Not just one. We made like 25. And it keeps fucking, a new Jurassic Park movie comes out like every 2 years, saying how bad of an idea this is.
Yeah. At least when this goes wrong, they can say like, yeah, there were no signs. How are we supposed to know?
Who would have thought, bringing dinosaurs back to life could have bad repercussions.
It would be pretty cool, though.
It would be pretty sick. Where would it be, though? Hawaii? On like an island off Hawaii? Private island? Caribbeans, maybe?
Malta. I feel like no one gives too much of a shit about Malta, but still everyone knows it, so...
True.
And it's an island, so if shit goes wrong, at least it's kind of restricted.
True, but I think it needs to be closer to the States. Because if something like that would happen, damn well the fucking States would be the first to jump on that shit.
True.
Or like, that's some really like some United States type of bullshit. Or China. Not that we know shit about China, so anyways.
I feel like Alaska has the space.
True, but then you could have them running,
No, it's slippery, man.
Makes sense, but I also don't know what type of climate they need. Like it
was way warmer back then,
so maybe in the tropicals would make more sense.
And I know there was more oxygen, and that's why they were so fucking big.
Yeah, they also had like fucking insects going
crazy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything was way bigger because there was so much oxygen.
Imagine that shit these days. You just see a spider about the size of your bicycle. Like, what the fuck are you supposed to do, man?
Imagine just oxygen has that big of an effect where if you just breathe more, you become bigger.
Thinking, where can I get oxygen? I've been a short king for too long.
Man, we need to get that mangrove and that oxygen.
25 years from now, we're just both 2 meters tall. And like perfect hairline, just sleeping under mangrove trees.
Yeah, 6 foot. Huh? How long do we want to be? How tall?
I don't. I think 6'6" is 2 meters.
Okay, 6'6", and so is our hair then.
Yeah. Also, as long.
Yeah, as long.
Just touches the ground like a dress. That had low-key be some swag though.
Yeah,
that'd be beautiful.
Then we gotta, fucking show it off that we have hair again.
Yeah, and that perfect, like straight, like.
Oh yeah. Then we're gonna let it grow, but just like a buzz cut the hairline, just to show, hey, it's there.
So just like have this really tiny row of hair at the back, go all the way down. It's like a miniature cape.
Or kind of like the old monks. We can also do that shit.
Just in the middle. It looks like the flag of Japan when we like.
Yeah, but then not bald with a buzz cut there to show like we still have hair, but.
Man, that's haircut goals right there. If this don't make the new, always these like weird ass, generic ass pictures that they're at like barbershops. It's gonna be next year. Undercut, fucking, I don't know, buzz cut, Japanese flag cape.
I also feel like the mullet has to make a comeback soon. It's about to happen.
Yeah, that is actually honestly, the mullet is honestly a perfect COVID haircut.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
I mean, I'm kind of, but the thing is my hair is long anyway, so I don't really have a mullet, but it would be a vibe to just cut the rest down and have a mullet and wear like a trucker cap.
Honestly, it would. I could see it too. Also with the little beard going on, I could see it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I mean, it's a vibe, a trucker vibe.
Yeah, that is true. It is a vibe. Man, I have the weird struggle now. Like, I have to get, if I make the buzz cut, if I go really short, then it's okay. But like with the hairline I have, If it's just like a little bit longer, boom, I'm 40 years old. Like the dad hair is hitting different, you know?
It's kind of like the toothbrush length.
Yeah, exactly. And then it starts to like stand off in like weird directions, and you're like, you can't get it down because it's like it's too small to brush.
It's the awkward phase, I guess, that you either go through or just cut it down again.
Yeah, I'm always hesitant, but we'll see.
And you're gonna let it grow again? What's your plan?
I don't know. I want to, but it will take a while. You know,
Yeah.
like I don't have a mangrove tree that I can rub my head on and shit. You know, so
Just rub your head on.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I'll see where life takes me. You know, I'm not gonna make a decision right now if it looks like complete ass.
I mean, it's COVID anyway.
Exactly. Like how many people we're gonna see?
Clearly, no one. Well,
Yeah.
not no one, but
Minimal amount.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's a good thing.
because we are responsible people during the lockdown, and so should you. Actually, I don't give a fuck, but
Just stay safe. You know, don't die. We
Yeah.
can't afford to lose a listener.
just be. True. It's like half of our audience gone. No, but be responsible. Like, even if you want to see people, then sure, but then only see people outside of the risk group and vaccinated people now. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty sick. A lot of people now, like, you know, more and more people, you know, like are vaccinated and stuff. It's
Yeah,
pretty
and-
interesting.
Belgium introduced this new system that's actually pretty cool, where they have, because a lot of people, of course, like first all people get vaccinated, and people in risk jobs, but some people don't show up for their vaccinations, so they have like a last minute call list where you can sign up for, and then they give you a ring like, at the end of the day, like, yeah, we have, I don't know, 3 injections over, do you want one? And then you can quickly go there and get vaccinated.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a good way to do it, honestly.
Yeah, but hey, maybe other countries should look into this.
Yeah. I mean,
It's kind of a waste when people don't show up, right? And if you really want to get vaccinated, then why wait?
exactly. And if someone cancels their appointment, then like, what else is there to do?
Yeah, especially like religious people.
Religious people.
Yeah, I expected it to be just like conspiracy theorists or people not really believing in vaccines in general. But apparently it's also against like Christianity or that type shit.
I mean,
Because it's not the way God intended it to be.
okay. I kind of see that argument though. Like, where do we draw the line as like people? What's manipulating nature? And then it's also the question: are humans not meant to manipulate nature? Like, it's an interesting concept.
It's kind of showing, right? I mean, it's definitely a hard subject, but I feel like cancer is kind of showing us like, hey, we're not supposed to live this long.
Yeah. And I mean, even like viruses becoming more and more like a problem. It's not going to stop.
And they
after
do
COVID.
us dirty because the virus can't exist without the body, like a human body. And then they destroy us and they kill us. Like, that's pretty unfucking grateful. We give you life and then you do this to us.
But bacteria gave us life overall, you know?
True.
So maybe it's also sometimes we get and sometimes we don't get.
Or maybe it all doesn't make sense.
It's also true. Fair enough, you know, a lot of possibilities with this.
Yeah. And will we ever know? That's also an interesting question.
That is also a good one. One thing I wanted to bring up in this podcast, you know, get it a little deeper, right? This week I met up with a friend of ours, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's a little bit of backstory. Like we us three were on a trip actually to Bosnia. You know, shout out. And like after that,
Wait, you went to Bosnia?
not on the record. But anyways, yeah. So we were close friends before, and after the whole trip, for some reason, like it derailed. Like we also talked about that, and I don't know. It was more like some things just happen type of shit.
Yeah, it kind of deteriorated. It wasn't like and now it's gone. It was slowly. Well, it was rather quickly, but it was not like one event led to you guys not hanging out anymore.
Exactly.
I think.
Exactly. So it was a nice catch up. Like it's been really like 1.5 years, and it was really fun because it was a conversation where it was really how was I before quarantine and how am I now? Because it's like before everything went down, you know?
Yeah.
But it was really, really nice conversation, and I just, I wanted to say this because I think in the history or like of myself, I always have this pattern where like friendships end like in somewhat similar fashion, right? And like I never had a problem with it, right? I never look back. And I feel like this is like the first time where like for myself, I was like, okay, maybe it doesn't feel right to have something just go out like the way that I used to do it before.
Yeah, it can be a waste.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, of course, sometimes it's also just natural and it just,
But it can be a waste or unnecessary.
Exactly, because it was such a like we didn't even talk type of stage, you know, and that's kind of weird. So but it was really nice, just exchanged just what we're doing and everything. So it's a blessing, if you have someone that you're always thinking about and that you're like hesitant to texting again or meeting up again. This is just a sign, like maybe if you hear this, maybe it's a sign to go text that person and spread a little love. We're all on this planet together. And if you had a close connection with someone before, then of course it's still up to you if you want to let it die down or not. But just let this be a little reminder, like maybe look in the past and see what love you have ready to give.
Yeah, exactly. And we talked about it before. Don't hold grudges, because in the end you're only fucking over yourself. And we have this beautiful saying in Dutch, which basically translates to you have a no, you can get a yes. Like, just reach out to people and you have a no, but maybe you'll get a yes. And maybe even in the broader sense with the friendship, like now it doesn't work, but maybe it will work if you try. Like, you have a no, you can get a yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that also, context-wise.
Now that I'm hearing it, yeah.
I was like, cancel culture, you hearing this?
Don't fucking cut this out and quote me on this shit.
So if you're following a woman home, I'm playing. Let's not even.
Then you ask her for consent, because you have a no, you can get a yes.
Exactly. You fill out that form and you're ready to go.
You need to have the contracts ready on your nightstand,
Yeah, exactly. That'd be kind of weird. Imagine you just take someone home and you just open the drawer. There's
sign this bitch.
95 copies. It's like a huge pile.
I need a signature here and here and here. Thank you.
And then wait, I'm gonna give it to my secretary. The woman walks in. Just all right, okay, cool. We can now fornicate.
Well, yeah, because that's what gets you in the mood. Paperwork.
Oh yes.
Ooh. I mean, we also love taxes, right? So
exactly. Can't go wrong with that. Some juicy ass paperwork. Man, that's why everybody horny in class. Filling out those forms, they're like, shit, man. That's why teenagers horny. It's not the pubescent brain. It's the paperwork.
Yeah, it's not hormones.
No.
It's just surroundings.
Yeah, exactly. It's all environment.
Oh boy.
Yo, one thing I found out the other day. Did you ever see where the vice president of the United States live?
No.
Like, that's something, like, I feel like I never heard before. Like,
no,
maybe
I didn't. Tell me about it.
Maybe it's known in the States, but it's a really weird spot. It's like a observatory. It's like a house, like a proper villa. It has like a library in it. It has an atomic clock in it.
Okay.
And like 2 observatories and like really renowned ones that like made some major discoveries in the past. And it's like, what the fuck? And supposedly, there is an underground bunker, but like that's that's always. I feel like there would be if it's a vice president's house, anyways.
Sure. Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just pretty interesting to me. Like I never expected it to be like an observatory, a huge ass library with like a lot of.
Where is it?
Somewhere East Coast. I forgot where it is. I think Virginia, maybe. Don't quote me wrong. I think it's like the first naval observatory. Like that's what the house is called. Pretty crazy though.
Yeah.
It's a random fact.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, of course,
Speaking of random facts, well, I don't know to what degree these are facts because I did my own research on this one. Because I was watching this pirate documentary, right? We already talked about this, like pirate and pirate life, that it's so common, but like this shit actually fucking happened.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I always thought, well, how fucking cool being a pirate. And I looked into it. No, not cool at all.
Again, some scurvy. Man, good vibes.
Scurvy is a big example of why pirate life sucked. But I looked into it. First of all, food. Because what the fuck do you eat if you're offshore for fucking long?
Melons?
I don't know. They had melons, but what I read was like salted meat, but not like because I like beef jerky as much as the next guy, but like fucking salted meat where it will just taste like a boot that you would need to chew on for so long, and your tongue would hurt from all the fucking salt. And they had this thing. Now I need to look at my notes called hardtack, which was basically just water and flour somehow baked into a fucking brick, and this brick was fucking dense. So what they would do is just fucking hit it until they had like a little piece and then eat that shit. But it would get infested with bugs. But luckily, you wouldn't get ill from the bugs and you couldn't really taste them. So I'm not even fucking kidding. What they did was just eat them in the dark. So you wouldn't really know if you had a normal bite or a bug bite. Damn fucking
protein?
Yeah, free protein. Damn fucking crowding, because they were with a shit ton of people on that ship, and in no way in hell did you have your own fucking bed or something. They didn't have beds. So I'm gonna paint you the picture of a night on a pirate ship. You lay below deck on a hard wooden floor. No mattress, no nothing. And at some point, you feel that your hand is a little wet. Maybe it's seawater. You smell your finger. No, that's definitely piss. I don't know, 10 minutes later, you feel a little fur rubbing against your elbow. Could be a deceased rat. Could be a deceased crew member. However, you probably figured out where the fucking piss came from.
Oh, God.
Later at night, you hear a guy moaning in the background, and you hope he's jerking off because you don't want to deal with another deceased body in the morning. Like, Jesus fuck. And then you had diseases, like you already said, scurvy. There was an entire fucking list of pirate diseases, and I stopped reading at dick rot. I don't even want to Google what the fuck that is.
That sounds terrible.
And then the best part of pirate life, right? The combat. The thing we all see in movies. Combat. Apparently, most of the time, if they encountered a ship, because they were so fucking savage, they would just surrender and didn't even fight them. Because they just looked like total fucking savages from living that lifestyle. And if they were willing to fight, they usually lost, because then they had like guns, and then they would show up with swords, and that didn't really go well.
The life of a pirate. No, that would be a good movie right there.
the real life pirate life.
Be a good comedy show though, honestly. Very fucked up one, but hey. Is that because like the recent like Netflix pirate documentary they put out there? I forgot the name, but like
Yeah, like a history.
Did you watch it?
I did. Well, high, so I can't remember too much. Gotta say.
I looked at the trailer like, this Loki looks like garbage. I'm not gonna lie.
It is, but it's hella interesting too.
Okay.
It's always with those fucking history shows where the acting is fucking bad, but still, you still watch it for whatever reason.
Oh yeah, it is super interesting, but like the acting is really what takes the cake.
Yeah.
They all deserve at least 5 Oscars. But I mean, pirate life is a thing right now. Somali pirates are an actual threat to people.
Yeah, Captain Phillip, right?
Yeah.
That's the name of the movie, right? What's it called?
I think so. I think so, yeah.
With Tom Hanks.
But I mean, it's pretty crazy though, like that there's this whole like pirate nation again, just like very modern, very small boats, but like they can still fuck some shit up. But now they're just, if there's really like a ship, that's prepared for them, then they're more than fucked. Like just machine gun.
Yeah, and that's the whole shit also with like people having guns in the States.
Yeah.
Still, if someone's gonna enter your house and murder you, and same with pirates, if someone wants to pirate your ship, like they're prepared to fight. Like they're willing to kill people. Yeah. You're not necessarily in the same situation as they are in. And that's hella risky.
Oh yeah. But I think it's also more of a need. I think nowadays pirates exist because did you watch Seaspiracy?
I still need to watch Seaspiracy.
My guy. But the Somali pirates are basically also like a big reason of why they pirate is because the fishing industry has fished almost every fish empty like right before the country, so they can't even get fish anymore, which was their main source of food. So now what the fuck are they supposed to do? Like,
true, and that's
kind of sad.
Kind of similar how the original pirates started, because they were just, with the whole colonial shit. Like they were hired to be sailors then, I guess. But then that all stopped, and then they were jobless, so they just started to do the shit on their own. And I feel like that's kind of what's happening with the modern pirates too.
Yeah, I could see that too. I mean, it's probably a combination, but it's still crazy, like how piracy is such a. Then we also talk about internet piracy. You know,
Ooh,
they
Pirate
almost
Bay.
exactly. I mean, those like really advanced internet pirates probably also look the same like the ancient ones. So I was going with stereotypes here a little bit.
Oh, I don't know if I ever mentioned this on the podcast before, but do you know? I think I told you why they wore an eye patch like pirates.
For the light differences. Yeah.
I like my whole life has been a lie. That's I always thought because they didn't have an eye or something. But no, this if they needed to go below deck, they could switch, and then one eye was adjusted to darkness.
It makes super like it's very like it sounds like it's smart,
and it's almost philosophical, right? That you always need to have one eye adjusted to a different reality, so you don't. If you have I don't know, like that you always need to have one eye in a different point of view, that if you are in a different situation that you can still comprehend.
Yeah, very true. I
feel like if I would be smarter, I could make a very good philosophical statement about this.
I think it would be also like a fun experiment, like for yourself. Just walk around with an eye patch. Like, first of all, you look badass. Like, no one gonna fuck with you if you have an eye patch. And then you also get a fucking wood leg, hook arm, all the stereotypes. But that's a kind of a commitment.
Kind of reminds me of your whole Durek experiment.
Even though I still haven't quite figured out how to do it, but
can you get waves now?
That's a good. I don't think I have the type of hair for it.
That's kind of sad.
It is. But like the Durek, it is a vibe. It also does raise a question.
And it's also. I mean, I guess, yeah, it's really the looks. I mean, I'm not too involved. Like, I don't know too much about it, but I do know it's to get waves in your hair.
Yeah.
So it seems like a thing you would wear at home, right? But I do see a lot of people wearing it in public. But, like, you don't see people with, like, the curling shit in their hair going out in public with that shit, right?
Low-key a drip, though. If women listen to this, go crazy. Or guys, if you have long hair, of course.
Yeah.
Works too. But it's a good. I always thought like they were just meant to be like slept with, and then like you shower, you put them on, you sleep, and then like it happens.
The silk does something with your hair.
I don't understand why it does it, but it does. But yeah, it's a good point. I should probably wear my durag for the next podcast.
I'm gonna get cancelled.
Probably.
Yeah, is it cultural appropriation to wear a durag?
I wouldn't say it's racist. Like, it's in the end, it's just clothing. Then if you would wear a hijab, would that be racist?
But like cultural appropriation, I'm not saying racist.
I mean, I guess it would be more. I'd say it would be more in the bracket of cultural appropriation.
Oh.
But it also depends with the, like, I guess, intent or feeling that you wear it with. Like, I think that's what it comes onto, but that's not something that people see, so it's difficult.
Yeah.
Right. Like if I go out there with the durag and be like, oh fuck yeah, I'm joking around, I'm gonna wear a durag, no, just because it was a present, right?
Yeah.
Then that intent is different as if I would like wear it to like fit in or something, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. It's also in a way with you wearing it, making it more mainstream, if that makes sense, and therefore appropriating your culture.
That is true, but with the fashion trends the way they are, man, you can wear literally everything, and if it's gonna be really extroverted, then someone is gonna look at that like, wow, so brave. That's the culture we live in these days, I think.
True.
You don't really get called an idiot anymore for whatever you wear. You get more called brave.
Yeah, that's always such a weird fucking compliment. How brave. Thanks.
Like it's like passive aggressive, but it also sometimes is like, damn, like I respect it, Again, depends on the intention, but then
sure, and also depends on the situation. Like if you just got a new haircut and someone says that's brave, then
fuck you.
Yeah, probably not the best. Yeah.
Just because you have access to mangrove trees, bitch. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, if anyone's listening and they have a mangrove sitting around, please send it to us.
Please, we need it desperately.
We need that extract. Gotta suck it out of the mangrove. Spit it on my head.
The tree, right? The tree just go.
Yeah.
Spit it on me, tree.
Oh boy.
Oh, man. Seriously though, man. Mangrove trees, please. We need it. We joke about it, but we need it.
And it's so weird because it's just hair, but it makes so much of a difference.
I mean, it does get you hired at the company that we, work at.
That's so true.
It's always a great thing. Like, I mean, I used to work for this company now, but did we ever say that on the podcast?
I think so.
Okay, well, then guess not. But you need to have a beard hairline to get hired. Just to recap it.
So we were solid.
Yeah. That's why we got promoted. It's like, oh shit, your hair is really terrible.
Yeah.
Here you go.
We almost got that fixed contract,
Exactly. 10 cents more an hour. Wow, how graceful. One thing I really thought about, Lean, I kind of just today is, given everything is online, you can really move to fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter anymore. If you could, as long as it's also like semi in the same time zone, right? We could also say, oh, fuck yeah, I'm gonna move to Morocco, which is probably also a sick place. Like Marrakesh looks fucking beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter anymore. I think that has some beauty to it.
Yeah. But yeah, there is some beauty to it, but it's kind of like then you need to go there permanently because else it's traveling and that's not really responsible during COVID time.
True. But
or like semi-permanently.
Yeah, like in the case of us, like exchange.
Yeah.
Where you like I'm now thinking like I take a like a minor from our school, and then but move to like somewhere else, like I don't know, like Spain, Portugal, or something. I think it would be sick. Weather is better.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Dude, speaking of fucking Egypt, that's still one of the most random moments in my life. Those are just my sister texted me and was just a selfie of her on a fucking camel in the Sahara. She didn't even tell us she was going to Egypt. Just, I don't know where I'm here now. Okay.
That's a flex.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and she went with a friend of her, 2 females traveling alone to Morocco without informing anyone. That was
to Morocco. Oh, you said Egypt. So
sorry.
I was like, did they go to Egypt and take a camel to Morocco? Because that'd be crazy.
Then I totally misspoke. I meant Morocco.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. But like, damn, like that would be a journey on a camel from Egypt to Morocco through the entire Sahara Desert. Have fun with that one.
Camels are weird animals.
They are. They have tits though. It's always the paperwork brain in me.
What's the other one called? Dromedaris in Dutch?
I think so. Yeah, dromedar in German.
What's it in English?
I have no idea, but it's the one-tit camel.
But that's the weirdest thing, because you have the cigarette brand Camel, right?
Yeah.
That's not a fucking camel on the package. It's the one-tit thing.
That's mean, man. Why?
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't that good of a selling point. What do dromedars do? Like, I feel bad for them. Like, they're just like the unattractive cousin.
True. Speaking of one tit.
You think that's why they're not popular? Because they only have one tit, not 2?
I mean, the more boobies, the better, right? But speaking of one tit, okay. I went to visit my grandparents, and they live in the Bible Belt, which is...
Speaking...
We'll get there. Okay. We'll get there.
Okay.
We're gonna get there.
Okay.
They live in the Bible Belt, very religious. And I went there on Easter, and, people went to church. And I thought it was weird, because, meeting with big groups during COVID, kind of weird. Because they also offer things online. And I heard someone say, yeah, but God loves you unconditionally, just like your mom does. Then I thought, like, does my mom love me unconditionally? Like, if I go up to her and, like, slash one tit off, like, I'm pretty sure she would hate me.
That's okay. I did not expect it to go this way. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess, like, you always say, like, mother's love is unconditional. Like, if a child is born, then the mother is gonna care for it. And I think then it also depends on your interpretation of love. But I feel like if you would slap it, make your mom a dromedar, then I don't know if that's she would necessarily enjoy it. Only one way to find. Okay, listeners, do not.
We got to the point where I'm just talking out of my ass. By the Oh, we're halfway through. That's about right.
That fits good.
right on schedule.
Yes. Half hour in? Okay. Well, this is the shittiest podcast episode ever, right? Wouldn't we want to make it bad?
Ah, true.
Yeah, so I think we're on a good track. Just making your mom a dromedar, I feel like it doesn't get much worse than this. Speaking about the Sahara Desert, though, I actually I watched a documentary the other day, Connected, right? Everything is connected. And it's this dude, and he went to like the Sahara, and there's like a massive lake that dried out over like the thousands of years, so now it's just desert. And so there are like a lot of fossils from fish, like everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy. Weirdly enough, like from the wind that's like going through like certain mountains, all that dust is carried over the ocean and stops hurricanes.
Stops hurricanes?
Stops hurricanes because the sand is providing the sand dust is providing a layer that prohibits the hurricane to like get more water. So it's like it's not like a big impact that's like immediately a break, but it slows the hurricane down. And that's
cool.
like nature doing it.
Yeah.
And then the same dust also travels like to the Atlantic in general and falls in the water, and then I think plankton or krill eat from it. So it's like it supports the ecosystem in the ocean, and then it also goes in the Amazon rainforest and makes the soil fertile.
Scent?
So, yeah, because here's the thing, because it's fossilized, right? So it's like it has a lot of like also animal the calcium and
the bone shit of a fish, but I don't.
Exactly. Yeah. So the weird thing is about this, because like the Amazon soil is not fertile whatsoever. Like it's terrible soil, but it only is the biggest forest that we have because of the dust that comes from the Sahara, and it's been that way for like thousands of years.
And how cool is that? So maybe we should stop cutting it down.
Very true. But like I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like everything is that ass connected.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The circulation of life.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, in general, we had it in geography class a lot, like that everything is kind of a circulation of events. And pretty cool that, I mean, you have it in Germany too, right? Where you can have like sand of the Sahara just landing on your car.
Yeah.
Where, like,
how does that happen? Like a sandstorm and shit? Like if the wind's just right.
The route?
Yeah, like it's crazy that it makes the way over the Alps and shit. You know?
No, I was just memeing you with the root sandstorm.
I didn't even. Man, that's a great song though.
Or Dust in the Wind.
Man, great meme.
Oh man, like you have the song right, Dust in the Wind.
Okay.
And I know a guy who his name is Dust in the Wind. Like his first name is Dustin.
Okay.
And surname is The Wind. How fucking cool is that?
Shout out to you, Dust in the Wind. I mean, that is pretty sick. You, like the parents probably knew about it, right?
I think so.
Because
I feel like they
smart.
knew.
They had to.
Yeah.
Right. Like I feel like a name of a kid is pretty thought out. At least I like to believe so. But then I don't know. I never named the child.
What's the story behind? I kind of know. Like I know a little bits about how your parents came up with your name, but was there a bigger motivation behind it?
I don't know. I think they
Philip II. I don't know.
I think they named me like Philip because like they saw like it means like the happy, or like the, you know, I don't know.
Well, how did that turn out?
Yeah, here I am depressed. Nah, just joking. But I guess like Philippus, I googled it myself. I mean, that's not my parents' thing, but Philippus means like friend of horses, which is pretty random.
Makes sense.
I mean, I don't really
stallion over here.
Yeah. But besides that, I have a middle name, and my mom says it's Simon, but pronounced in English. And my dad says it's Simon, you know, like pronounced German. And that is because, like, I think my grandpa did, like, a family tree, and it goes back to, like, the 15th century. And then the oldest entry was someone named, you know, Simon Simon. I'm assuming Simon because he's German. So I don't really know what to believe, but it's either or. But what about you?
Well, my mom picked the name of my sister, who is older, so my dad got to pick my name, and he was just working somewhere, and he saw the name Jason on a sign, and he was like, "That's a cool name. We're gonna go for that one." That's the entire story.
So I guess he had really saw a sign, huh?
I guess.
It's like, it's exactly the sign I needed. Jason. It was one of those like number plates on front of like a trucker, you know, like all those trucker number plates. Jason, I like that name.
Yeah, I mean, it worked.
Yeah, exactly.
But not a great story or anything. Must be hard to pick a child's name.
It has to, because also so many different like things, you know, you can also fuck your kid's life up. If you name it like a Kevin or like a Chantal or something, you know,
Cousins.
like it's, you know, you just gotta have it rougher in life.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, it was already pretty limited because my sister is called Macy. So I couldn't really have a really Dutch name because then it would be like Macy and Jan. Like that doesn't flow. So it had to be like an English name, which I'm very happy about because at least a lot of people know how to pronounce my name or at least can pronounce my name. That's great.
Yeah. I think that's crucial. Like an international name is always better, I'd say, especially in times like this now.
Yeah, or at least not necessarily international, but sounds people globally can make, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Certain
like we have the Dutch name Gerard, which is a and not a lot of people are able to even make that sound.
How do you spell that?
It's just Gerard.
Gerard?
Yeah, Gerard in Dutch.
Oh God. Man, Dutch language is like so
yeah.
Like kind of aggressive. I mean, German is always like the, you know, like the aggressive language, but I feel like Dutch is right up there. It's just not talked about that much.
It kind of sounds like aggressive Swedish or something.
I could see it. But I also don't know enough Swedish to really give a profound opinion. It's about the one sentence. Kotspelar. IKEA. Man. But it, like the Scandinavian culture in general is a nice folk. Back in the day, also were a little bit rowdy, you know, a little bit like pirates.
Yeah, Vikings.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like the story of Greenland and Iceland. Don't know if you know that story. Like why they named, going back to names, why they named Greenland and Iceland Island.
Well, I think they switch it up, like looking at them like green. But tell me.
Yeah, well, they went exploring and they kind of saw like this ice biome and then this fairy Greenland. But they didn't want other people to go to the nice Greenland, so they called it Iceland and called like the icy biome Greenland. Kind of as a red herring for people who wanted to go there.
That's so good. Imagine people like, oh, Greenland, let's go. Go there. What the fuck?
Hella beautiful though. Like Iceland and shit.
Oh yeah.
Hella beautiful.
Oh yeah. Hella beautiful.
I still want to go there sometime.
I did a layover. Like that's the closest I've come to that. Like so I've been in Reykjavik airport. Pretty sick. I couldn't see shit because it was just foggy.
But you flew yeah, also not when landing or
nothing. It was just straight foggy. It was like you landed and you're like, well, that's, you know, the airport. That's about all I saw.
Shit, because I think also Lord of the Rings, or at least The Hobbit, was shot there.
I bet. I mean, it looks crazy.
Yeah.
I also saw Greenland, which also, it's not green. I can tell that much. But the Iceland airport, I was really tempted. But if you're on a long hour flight, are you going to risk food that you don't know? You know what I mean? Because there was like, you know, we just wanted to like grab a sandwich, and right next to the thing was like, oh, get whale fin, shark fin, like everything just like laid out there to get and eat. And I was like, tempted, but like, I don't know about this right now.
Yeah.
Also expensive, man.
Yeah,
Scandinavia in general.
But yeah, they have a good healthcare system, so then you pay the price for their healthcare system, I guess.
If you eat a shark fin, man, it's gonna cost you. We have a good healthcare system.
I don't. Reykjavik, is it even near the coast?
Yeah.
Everything is pretty much near the coast in Iceland.
Yeah, I mean, I think most cities are like spread out, anyways. But Reykjavik is saying I think it's like west coast, like southern west coast.
That's good. Because I'm always a bit confused by if you order fish in a city that's not near water. That's always kind of weird. True. I mean, we did it in Bosnia with the fucking river, but
yeah, that didn't go out the way that we wanted it to.
The worst fucking fish platter we ever had.
Yeah, dead ass though.
Yeah.
It like the presentation was like, huh? then like eating it was like I don't know. But that meat platter I will never forget, except for the one mushroom or whatever the fuck. God damn.
That was an intense taste.
It really, like, someone just took a cow shit and like formed it in the mushroom and gave it on the plate.
That's exactly how I imagine truffles to taste like that fucking mushroom.
Yeah, but better. I mean, truffles don't taste good.
No,
that mushroom was worse.
Yeah, but I imagine the truffles to taste like the mushroom.
Yeah.
It's a very earthy, soily, fertilizer-y taste.
That's worms in it, you know. Gotta eat it in the dark, you know. Gotta make sure it's good. Gotta
nice
use the
damp.
pirate tricks. Oh yeah. Oh shit. Do you have a talking point or something?
I don't have any more talking points, man. So this is the worst episode. I mean, do you really think I have more?
That's fair. Oh, I wanted to talk about one thing I have written down: old people's homes, right? And I feel like I today I came up with a good mathematical formula to determine if a city is young or like the average age of a city.
Tell me.
The ratio between nightclubs and bars and old people homes. If you take the dividend out of that, then, you know, I don't know, if you see what's higher, you know. It's not really a formula, you know, I'm not good at math.
I'm still waiting for the calculations to come.
Well, you know, if you compare it, you know, like old people's homes through bars and things, and then the percentage you get is the percentage you get. That's it.
So basically you just compare like the facility for old people with the facility for young people.
Yeah.
And then you can guess if there's young people or old people.
Exactly.
Eureka.
Man, write me up there. E equals MC2 and nightclubs and bars.
I feel like nowadays you can also just look at the rate who still goes to church or to a mosque.
Also, yeah, that's also interesting, but I think that also depends on location. But I think
if you go to the Bible Belt in the Netherlands, is it still so weird that we have that shit?
Yeah, I think that's where like also like the conservative energy really feasts on, right?
Like my grandparents, they live near the Bible Belt, and they can't like hang out their laundry in the garden on Sunday. Fuck that shit. No.
What the hell, man? Yeah. Like that's also probably like one of those most judgmental places. I feel like, at least. Yeah. Like even though religion is welcoming, like I'm not gonna say it, but like it kind of seems like it from the outside.
Like, don't quote me on this, but my grandma made such a fucking funny comment that I will always cherish with me. And it goes like the following. A Protestant funeral is way more fun than a Catholic wedding.
That's what she let me guess, she's Protestant?
Yeah. And it's so true. It's so fucking true.
Is it?
It is. I mean, Catholic church is just memento mori, right?
Yeah.
Gedenk te sterven, like you're gonna die.
But that's the
Your sole purpose. This is punishment. Earth is punishment.
I mean, that is a weird thing to like punch into people, right? And Catholic Church was the one that's like fucking punching their religion in people's brains, literally. So
yeah, I actually for uni this week, I had to make a presentation about a subject regarding the culture or history of Spain.
Okay.
And I decided to look into the Spanish Inquisition, and I needed to come up with a statement that would, you know, spark a debate.
Okay, yeah.
And it was a bit more nuanced than I'm putting it now, but it basically said like the Spanish Inquisition wasn't that bad.
Oh god. Okay.
Because I looked into it. It wasn't
okay.
Like, of course, like a lot of torture, but like if you looked at execution ways, because first of all, they were one of the first institutions to cancel out confessions obtained by torture. So that's already a great thing. So they had to go to like the court of the Catholic Church, and only 2% of those cases ended in executions.
Okay.
Still, you would definitely get tortures. Like, I'm not saying it was a party or anything, but still, like, it wasn't that common for people to get executed. And also, the Catholic Church at that period of time was very skeptical of witchcraft. Like, people believed in witchcraft, and they made allegations left, right, and center of people being witches. But the Catholic Church were the one, like in court, were the one to say like, no, they're not witches, and actually you made a false allegation so you're gonna get fined.
Okay.
But still, in history, the Spanish Inquisition is known for this. I mean, they did torture a lot. I'm not gonna, beat around the bush with this one. And it was definitely a cruel world. But if you compare it to like the Roman Inquisition, it wasn't half as bad.
That's fair. But like, are you talking about Inquisition, like also like the Latin America travels, or what exactly are you referring to? Like when you say Inquisition,
the institution by law that you had to be Catholic in Spain and the lands that Spain obtained at the time.
Okay, so does it include Latin America?
At some point it did.
Okay, because I feel like they over there they took the rules slightly differently.
Yeah, but to be fair, well, main focus was in Spain.
Okay.
And like, of course, like they were awful towards Jews and Muslims, but they did give them like a sort of a notice. Like they did give them a notice before, like, hey, we're gonna implement this. So either you convey to the Catholic Church or you dip.
Okay, but that's
so
fair,
kind of the meme of the Spanish. No one sees the Spanish Inquisition coming is not true either. So.
You don't need to break my heart here either. Let me have it.
Monty Python.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. I mean, maybe they gave the notice like when they showed up there. So here's the notice: either you dip in the next now, or you become Catholic. But
in general, that's like society, because that's the thing. Like the Spanish Inquisition was bad, but the alternative was worse. That in most cases.
What do you mean alternative?
Like if you went to Protestant areas or areas where there wasn't Catholic Church, or under the rulings of Catholic people, like their witches got burnt at the stakes.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But I think, history is very bloody in general. Like we humans, we do not treat each other with love in the history. We're always like, what nice land I would like to conquer. Is this some gold I see?
Mine.
So, and it's still happening, like it's not like we talk about it and people, innocent people still get bombed by the US and other nations. They're like, hey, terrorists. It's like,
that's actually how I went into this research, because I wanted to make a comparison to the Spanish inquisitors and compare them to terrorists. But then I ended with the statement, like, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. In perspective of all things, it really isn't.
Yeah, well, the statement was more nuanced. It was like the Spanish Inquisition wasn't as savage or barbaric as her reputation suggests. So it was a bit more nuanced.
A bit more formal, a little bit of edge to it. Okay, okay. Yeah. Smoothed it out.
Like, because if I say it wasn't that bad, like it was bad, but the reputation kind of is worse than it actually was.
Okay, that makes sense. I think maybe, like for me, like the Inquisitors, I don't even know that much about. I just know like the Conquistadors, right? Like those are the ones that are like, they have a really bad reputation.
Yeah.
And I believe they kind of deserve it
too. Definitely. And still the Spanish Inquisition definitely deserves a bad rep. Like, don't want to say anything against that.
Yeah, fair enough.
How long do we still have? Okay, I can still quickly say something, because I read some philosophy and I will definitely want to share as the last little bit of wisdom in the end. I was reading Camus, because we're kind of in a plague right now, right? And he actually has a quote about a plague. It goes like the following. But what does it mean, the plague? It's life. That's all.
Huh. Okay. Interesting. But I do see it. It's part of it,
Yeah, because we're kind of always looking at where does this come from? Either, science-wise or conspiracy-wise or whatever. Where does it come from? But he also has this quote that goes like the following. I'm going to read it because I don't want to misquote if I name it by name. Camus. Okay, you will never be happy if you continue to search for what happiness consists of, and you will never live if you're always looking for the meaning of life.
Yeah.
Because he has this thing about absurdness, and the thing is, life is absurd, and it doesn't make sense. It's fucking ludicrous. But still there is some beauty in that, and that you don't get lost in searching for a meaning, but that you just make the best out of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's kind of also with the whole sand story you told in this podcast, right? It's absurd.
Yeah, completely.
But we can sit here and talk for another hour and ask ourselves why that is. But it doesn't really matter, does it?
Nope. It is what
it is.
I think that's a beautiful way to end this. I think that's a great note, and I think what you really said, it's sometimes you can also get lost in like trying to read certain things into certain things and just take it for what it is, and just we're always in our head a lot, and just go out there and look at a tree and you're like, oh fuck yeah, that's a nice tree.
Yeah. Yeah, just if you can accept the fact that life is absurd and it doesn't make sense, then life is also less cruel to you. Because I do feel like if you really believe like, I'm a good person and still all this bad shit happens, why? Because life is absurd.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And whatever you believe in is still up to you.
Mm-hmm, of course.
But there are certain things that I think you just generally... Like, if you apply to them, and everybody applies to them in their own and different ways, but it's still somewhat the same, similar.
Yeah, it's open for interpretation as well. Like, I'm just putting it out there. I thought it would be a nice quote to end this.
Oh, hell yeah, I agree.
As we're gonna, because we're perfectly in time. Thank you for listening, also at the end now.
What a terrible podcast.
Now, this was the worst episode, so if you want to have a better episode next time, you can leave suggestions on our Instagram account at mightaswell420, and we'll be hearing from you.
Exactly. Leave us some talking points, and enjoy your week. And we'll hear from you. Hear from you. Or
we'll heal you.
And you hear from us, I guess. All right. Peace.
Might as well.